Got a rough turn bowl. Gonna try some interesting chucking method. Interesting for me anyway. Spindle gouge. This bowl wobbles way too much. I found that with a rough turn bowl, you often get it disforming, and that's what this one did. There are two sides that kind of stick out more, and I'm going to put both of those sides into the jaws of the chuck, not the gaps of the chuck, and that should center it up. Yeah, that's way better. Now to finish shaping my foot and the side of the bowl, but I can't go too far up the side, otherwise I risk hitting the jaws of the chuck with my gouge. I'll use my flat scraper just to give that bowl the final shape. It also gives it a nice clean cut, so I have to sand less. Now to flip it around to take care of the rim and also the inside. When I first touch the rim here, it's only going to be a tiny little bit, just enough to make it flat and get rid of any sort of kind of chip out from whatever was there from roughing out the bowl. Then I marked out the rim just so I can give it the right type of cut, and present me doesn't know that this is going to be kind of useless because I should have cleaned up the rest of that rim first. But for now, I'll go on and I'll make a nice little curve with my skew chisel and have to redo it. Now that I've caught up with what's really happening, I grab my spindle gouge and I am trimming up that rim. Of course I have to mark it again so I can cut the new groove so that it's back to being groovy. If you haven't heard a woodworker say you gotta sneak up on the fit, well, this is one of those moments. I'd rather cut it a little too big and sneak up on it to get it right. Alright, back to the inside. I did cut the rim again with the 1/2 inch bowl gouge, just ever so slightly because there was some wood that chipped out. And then I started to cut out the inside. After a quick check with my high precision feelers, I figured out that I need to make it a tiny bit deeper. Alright, scraping done. Brief moment to look at sandpaper and on to the next problem. You probably caught this in an earlier shot, but that rim is no good. I need to get rid of that little scuff mark. So back to the spindle gouge. Much better. Nice and clean. Finally gone. Now I've got to set my little
recess again.
And time to put that groove back in again. Thankfully, the bowl wasn't too thin for this.
Beautiful.
Now that that's all done, I am applying finish. The finish is pretty simple. It's some version of a shine juice, and once I've kind of rubbed that in with my cloth, I went to add some beeswax to give it that final little silky layer of goodness, and this bowl is pretty much done, at least on the inside.
Hi.
The outside's going to get the exact same treatment. The last step for me is to finish off that foot. You'll notice that it didn't get a very nice shape yet. Now that the bowl is round, it fits into the jaws quite easily and nicely. But that foot needs to be a little bit shorter, and I wanted to put a bit of a recess underneath so it looks like it's kind of got its own actual foot, not just a lump on the bottom. A quick jab with my scraper, and it's there. Tiny bit of sanding, tiny bit of finish, and we are happy. I said a tiny bit of finish, that's better. Now we're happy. Follow that up with some beeswax, and this little guy is done. You do have to rub it in though. You always have to rub it in. The final product. This is it. A tiny little bowl. A ton of fun to make. Thanks for watching.